So I got a couple of bottom bouncers the other day. First time I ever used these. I'm disappointed in myself that I never tried these earlier. They're $1.50 each, pretty cheap. They have different weights. This is 3/4 ounce, and I think that was 1.5 ounce or 1 1/4. I don't remember. It's basically a piece of heavy gauge wire with a bend in it. It's got like a springy loop here, and then it's got a swivel on this end. The loop is where you hook your line in, or in my case, the end of my line, I got another swivel, and you hook my swivel in there, and it's designed to let you go across the bottom. Basically, you're going to be pulling here, and you can see that's going across the bottom. It keeps you from dragging right on the bottom. This weight's down, and then you got your swivel hanging out behind you here, and then on the end of that, depending on what you're doing, if you're trolling in a boat, you might want to put a long lead on there, 6-inch or a 9-inch lead. I just basically put a well, I was fishing with this morning. It's just a simple little silver spinner, 2 spinners, and then I put a single hook on there, a fairly small one. You can see here I eventually switched. My spinner broke, that one broke, and so I switched to a single gold spinner. The same hook on the bottom with one of these squids. I got a little smallmouth bass with it, about 9 inches, maybe 1 pound, I guess. Nice little bass, put up a little fight for me. My first fish of the season, so I was glad to get it anyway. Threw him back though. Anyway, the deal here is I'm pretty impressed with this. Normally, if I'm trying to fish close to the bottom, you're casting out and then you're reeling in really slowly and trying to guess when you're hitting bottom and that sort of thing. And doing it that way, you're coming in from the top of the weeds, and the top part of the weeds is where they expand out and they're bigger, and you just get caught up quite a lot doing it that way. Well, this way is actually designed to be down bottom, so you're coming up from the bottom of the weeds, and the stalks are a lot smaller and the leaves aren't really big down in that part where you're traveling, so you hardly get caught up at all. I was fishing 2 days with this and hardly hauled in any weeds at all, where normally when you're trying to fish in the weeds from the top down, you're just hauling in weeds. Really impressed with these. I'm going to use them quite a bit actually, fishing on the bottom. And I'm just fishing from shore, casting them out. I got snagged up a few times, but I managed to unsnag it every time. This one is from a company called Jigaloo, which is a bit of an odd name. Reminds me of Gigolo. But bottom bouncer, try it out. I'm very, very impressed. Whoops, yeah, there's a beer can from the other night. Sorry about that. Very, very impressed with the bottom bouncers.